Good afternoon. We're just going to give folks a moment to come in from the waiting room and connect to audio. Good afternoon. This is an administrative hearing before the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined today by the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing, Kathleen Joyce, and Director of Operations, Rebecca Fu. I will read today's agenda item into the record and then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the Entertainment Division and testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. There's only one item on this afternoon's agenda, which is CMG CP1 LLC, doing business as Caveau, located at 1-2 Center Plaza. The application before us this afternoon is to maintain and operate the live entertainment categories, consisting of disc jockey, dancing by patrons, instrumental and vocal music, up to 5 performers each, and exhibition trade show until 2 a.m. 7 days per week. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good afternoon, Madam Executive Director, Director Fu, and Executive Secretary Green. Leslie Delaney Hawkins with Prince LaBelle Tai on behalf of the applicant. With me is Chris Jameson and Mark Malatesta, who are the owners and operators, as well as Joe O'Connor, who is the proposed manager of record. As you may recall, this applicant was approved for a transfer of a license to this location with a closing hour of 2 a.m. by the licensing board. That application is currently pending with the ABCC, although we anticipate that that will be approved any day. We're before you seeking live entertainment, including the categories that the executive secretary noted. I will note that the exhibition trade show is simply to provide flexibility for special events. That's not something that's going to be used on a regular basis. This is going to be a high-end restaurant and lounge with live entertainment. When we presented to the neighborhood and the elected officials, we made very clear that live entertainment was going to be a component of this. We held an abutters meeting at which there was only support expressed. We have reached out to all of the elected officials regarding today's meeting and have had no questions or concerns. One of the benefits of this location is that because it is being completely refitted on the interior, we are able to completely soundproof this location. Additionally, there are no residential abutters, so there will be no music or sounds emanating from the premise. And additionally, there's no one that would be impacted by the same. Regarding the zoning for this establishment is located in a zone that does not define live entertainment, but allows for dancing by patrons with restaurants and nightclub use. We worked very closely with the Inspectional Services Department, and we included a copy of the correspondence that we provided to them, which they used to sign off on our building permits for the live entertainment use. While we do not yet have our certificate of occupancy or certificate of inspection, that will, once issued in the coming days, once our build out is completed, include the live entertainment use. So this is an allowed use. We, of course, know that until all of these certificates and the license is finalized are submitted to the board, no matter what the board's decision, no entertainment license will be issued. With that is a high-level overview of what we're proposing. We know that you have the application in front of you and that you've also heard it being discussed before the licensing board. So with that, I think we're happy to open it up to any questions.
Thank you. Just one moment. I believe just 1 second. We lost the executive director who is rejoining currently. Great.
So sorry about that. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yep.
I heard the beginning of, I don't know, I can't hear you guys. Wait a second. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear us?
I hear you.
Now I can.
Great.
Sorry. I have 2 screens going, and one was, I tried to move my camera over to the second screen and I couldn't hear anything. Sorry about that. I heard Attorney Hawkins is beginning of her thing, but if you don't mind, would you mind just backing up a little bit? Sorry.
Absolutely. So, as discussed and as Executive Director Joyce, you heard presented to the licensing board, live entertainment has always been a part of this concept, which is why we are seeking the uses that were identified in the application and that Attorney Green read into the record. I will note that the exhibition category is something that we just included for flexibility, so that if we're having special events that we could utilize that as well. This is going to be a high-end restaurant and lounge with live entertainment. There were no concerns in the community or from the elected officials. We have invested a significant amount of money in soundproofing for this space. There is no outdoor space, and there are also no residential abutters, which is one of the reasons that the applicant feels this is a perfect location for this establishment. On the point of the zoning, this is located in a zoning district that, while it does not actually define live entertainment, allows for restaurant with dance hall. And when you review the definitions in the zoning code, that essentially equates to live entertainment. We've worked very closely with the Inspectional Services Department to confirm that this use is allowed, which they have done so in writing. While we do not yet have our certificate of occupancy or certificate of inspection, once we complete build out in the coming days and conduct our final inspections, when those are issued, they will list the live entertainment use as allowed.
Okay, this is an exciting application that we have. My only question was, what exactly does this exhibition for special events really mean? Like, what kind of activation will that be?
Absolutely. So in the event that there was some sort of pop-up or some sort of, another restaurant we're working with, not related to alcohol, but coming in and, setting something up to display products or anything like that, it just provides for the flexibility.
Okay. And do you?
Yeah, there's nothing programmed that way right now. I mean, it's just sort of a catch-all.
Okay, and I think in the application it says that you did do some soundproofing. Can you describe that for us?
Chris, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can take that a little bit. So yeah, we basically, there are just a few different things. Technically, if you look at the sort of a bird's eye view of this property, it's underneath the parking lot of the federal courthouse. So we're actually, you kind of enter through Center Plaza, but by virtue of where you actually have to go when you walk in, you're walking out and you're buried under 12 feet of concrete and brick and all that. So there's no chance of the sound kind of traveling up into the building. That said, we did engage Intertech to do a full study on sort of how to both mitigate sound transmission and then internally. We did things like double walls. We put high density sort of vinyl mat on all the walls, any of the perimeter walls. So we worked very closely with the building owner, which is Synergy, and we worked closely with them to sort of work on all the demising construction methods and means and methods in order to prevent that. So we're very confident this isn't going to be an issue. They're confident it's not going to be an issue. The whole space just abuts a parking garage, a loading dock, and a gym that closes at 8 o'clock at night. There's really no opportunity for it to transmit sound outside.
Okay, that's helpful, and thank you for sharing that. And use of promoters, will you guys be bringing promoters in for themes or special nights?
No, we don't work with any outside promoters.
Okay. And cover charge at the door?
No, we'll sell tickets for DJs, but not cover charge. So generally, if there's an event that's a DJ, we'll sell tickets online via our website. We, to my knowledge, have not and will not charge cover at the door.
Okay. So the dancing by patrons, let me see.
Yeah, so it's laid out in a way similar to Underground, where there's not a true dance floor. But again, I think just to be careful, we needed to have that on the application. It's not like the Grand or Big Night Live, where there's a large dance floor that is specifically dedicated to kind of dancing. But we all know, when the music's playing and people are standing at or around their tables, they're probably moving. So that was just to make sure that we've covered all of our bases, but there is no dance floor in the space as it is currently laid out.
Okay, and will you be having like 18 and over events, or is it?
Never. No, we're 21 and over.
Okay, and I'm not sure, you may have submitted it, but if you could follow up if you haven't with a security plan.
Yes.
Personal emergency plan. I'm going to ask Rebecca if she has any questions that I may have missed.
I think you covered everything. What's your intended opening date?
We're hoping to be open in March. We're calling for our final inspections on Thursday, a week from today.
Oh, cool.
The fire department has received and reviewed initially the assembly plan. I know they're backed up, so frankly, I think we'll be ready to open whenever the fire department gets to scheduling our walkthrough. We're hoping to be open this month.
Okay. Actually, one more question. You said tickets would be for like DJs. Are these like big name DJs or just local?
Well, it depends on if you ask them or me. But I think they think they're big name. But no, okay. The programming will be similar to what we're doing down the street at Mariel. So we're having
Okay.
DJs come in and fly in, but they all have a following and people know who they are. But these aren't like
Okay.
top tier, very expensive DJs like
Okay.
some of the other clubs in Boston.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I'll just ask Danny, do you want to pipe in if you have any? I know, just to make sure I didn't forget something that we've discussed before.
You've covered everything that I would have had. Director Fu, anything further from you?
Nope.
Are there any individuals with us this afternoon who would like to provide any testimony on this matter?
And for the record, we will submit the security plan as well as the proof of legal notice and abutters.
Okay.
Thank you very much. With no one to provide any testimony this afternoon, that will conclude this afternoon's hearing. The executive director will take this matter under advisement and will issue a written decision. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate your time.
Have a good day.
And you.